I feel so far away. Hi, welcome to StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 457. 457. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I
I
am
feel
newly back in Rochester. Yesterday I started my day at 3 o'clock Central Time. I was on Eastern
Mhm.
Time, but for dramatics, I can say it was 3 o'clock in the morning in Syracuse. And then slept a whole bunch last night. Like Jeremy's
Okay.
like, it's 8 o'clock at night and you're falling asleep on the couch. And I'm like, well, it's 9 o'clock my clock. Really wish we could get this whole time zone change lined up with me having adjusted to being on Eastern time. It's fine. But
Yeah. Um, cool. I wanted
yeah,
to just quickly point out that this is a shirt that is from a local coffee shop and it's like a
yeah,
line drawing. So if you were like,
yeah.
what is this?
It
You
looks
can
like
go,
some sort of like maybe a pill masher or yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah,
espresso,
no, I
right?
know I know
Okay.
espresso. Oh yeah, I know
I
espresso.
just wanted to make sure because people might be like, what is this?
It was funny, at India Untangled, somebody had a shirt on, and now I'm gonna completely blank what it said. But like, it was something about life at the top and then knit at the bottom.
Okay.
And she was wearing a shawl. I was like, what does the top say? Right? Like, so yeah, I'm sure people, as you're like, moving about, would see like
Yeah.
part of it and wonder what it is. So good,
Yeah.
good that you revealed the mystery.
Yeah. I was looking at it going, that's a weird, you know.
If you were one of the YouTube people, you would make them like, yeah, get to the very end for the dramatic
Oh,
reveal, right?
yes. Yes, true. I gave it away at the front.
So how was I know it was Minnesota educators
Oh, yes.
time. How was your time away from school with the fam?
It was fun. We went, well, fun. We had one thing to do that was fun. So
Okay.
we went up to visit Justin at the U of M, and it was really fun. My mom came along, and we toured the campus. We did have a bit of a car oopsie, so the venture
Uh-oh.
home was a little uh, chaotic, but it all worked out, and now we'll worry about the rest of it this week. But yeah, I got to use my insurance's roadside assistance. So exciting.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, no, we had that. I told you, I don't remember if I podcasted about it. Maybe I was telling you before, but like we had three cars here, and then Ellie
Mhm.
took a car back with her to college, and then Jeremy came back from his camping trip and was like, and the van has like a engine light on. So we went from
Okay.
having two driving adults and three cars that we were playing like move to get the right car out to like one vehicle functional. So I ended up taking, yes, because I remember I said I was doing research on. So yeah, I took Rochester shuttle service up to
Yeah.
the Twin Cities and back, which was nice. I got some knitting time, I guess.
Yes.
I did have to sit there for quite a bit because my flight got in a little early, but not early enough to catch the hour before's shuttle. So
Mhm.
yeah, some forced relaxation time before I get back into the swing of things. And boy, did I. There was so many meetings yesterday. But yeah, any updates that we want to give on things? I think you have started sending out some of the requests for the vendors and more are coming
Yes.
from VK.
Yes. Yes. So we've had a couple vendors contract and we have sent out a small list.
That's just a rolling, yeah.
Yes. Well, it's just so that it's not overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So so if you're still waiting on that list, as far as, you've applied, it's still going. I just put a handful out there to have those initially roll in. There's still to the end of this week to sign up and apply to vend, and we can do our further, uh, vetting of the applicants and yeah, get it rolling. But
Mhm.
that has started. And so if you're still interested in applying, again, I think the 25th is when I said I'd turn it off. So sometime early 26th, I'll turn it off. And then the invitations will start coming in earnest for the vendors. I know it is a process, right? Send out the please come, people accept, and then sign contracts, and money is exchanged. So it takes time,
Mhm.
and it will
Yeah.
be a rolling process.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so for anybody that was in the upstate North New York area this past Rhinebeck season, I guess, with a lot of pre-events and whatever, if you had a favorite vendor that you saw and you are a ZK attendee, make sure to let them know that you'd love to see them at ZK. It's a great little market. We have a great group that's very excited about not only shopping the day of, but also we have our KAL leading up. So you can try out new stuff and order from folks and get extra points. Or if you've got a lot of a specific vendor's yarn and you're going for all of the
mhm.
KAL imaginary points, you could reach out to them and say, you should come to ZK. We think
Yes.
it's we love our Minnesota summer
Well, I was
event.
gonna say you gave me a great idea. I should really go into my stash and say, who do I want? Like, is Diane watching?
Yeah.
I have a lot of suburban stitchers.
Yes. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, again, if they have already applied, then you can be like, woo woo, right?
Yeah.
Like further excitement that I'll see you in June. But yeah, we were chatting about the timing of ZK with a couple of folks, or at least I was. They were like, wouldn't it be better if it, and they like named a time where it's just generally not pleasant to be in Minnesota generally. And I was like, no, I don't think you want to come to Minnesota then.
Oh, what was
When
the
you,
time?
I think it was like when you go outside and your face hurts or it hurts to breathe, right? Like it's
Oh,
like a
yeah, yeah.
February or
February?
a,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Or like,
One,
snow.
traveling, yes,
Yeah.
traveling is questionable in the
Hmm.
winter, right? You might get
Yeah.
delayed or have things canceled. And two, yeah, your face hurts. And while we do have a really nice subway system and walkway system, um, nothing beats being able to go to that, Thursdays on First Market and have all that beautiful sunshine. And
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I think we've really, again, we've tried to thread the needle between like school getting out and like summer vacations kicking off with 4th of July season. And like, yeah, being pleasant in Minnesota. Anyway, ZK is obviously one of our favorite things because will be our 13th year of it. So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Our theme is Lucky 13. We've got a few of our what do you want to say, logos back. So Megan's gonna review those and give me some feedback. And yeah, it's all
Fun
heading
theme.
towards,
Definitely
yeah,
a fun theme. Yeah.
it's all heading towards it. It's great.
Yeah. Awesome. That's
Okay.
all I can think of as far as administrating. Favorite things?
Yeah, I don't have as much as you, I'm sure, but maybe it
I
wasn't
was
a
I was very well
okay. Okay,
behaved.
good.
I
Okay,
did
good.
just end up taking my small carry-on roller suitcase and my backpack that I can
Okay.
take for like 2-day trips.
Hmm.
So yeah, packing was definitely the much needed restraint that like I don't want to have to pay to check a bag just so that I can carry on another bag full of yarn. So yeah, I was fairly well restrained. I don't know.
Well, we'll start with mine.
Okay.
Uh when I was getting done with some of my cross stitch items, I was finding that it was really hard for me to organize them and get them into a place where I was happy with them. And so I decided to go ahead and make some kits. So I ordered off of Amazon these little zipper pouches that are
Hmm.
basically a sheet of paper folded in half sized. And then I can put the pattern and then all my leftover thread in there. Um, And it's just like a little kit. I've already made this one, but there's so much leftover thread, I could make it again.
Hmm.
So it's a predetermined kit. If I never make it again, I'll probably, like hand it off to somebody. But I just really appreciated having it organized. So um, I got, I do have more than one. So I ordered a bunch of these bags. And so you can see, like, I was able to organize all of the projects that I have finished. So
Awesome.
now I have a, kind of like this is my, like if I wanted to make something again, I could go in here and do that.
Yeah.
Another thing
It's
that I
funny.
used to,
It's funny that you did that. Sorry, go ahead, complete your thought.
oh, I was going to go on to the next favorite thing. So go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned that because that was one of the things that on Sunday, when I already determined that I didn't have any extra room in my luggage, there was this Hello Bargello, I think is how you would pronounce it. Hello Barjo, maybe. Maybe that
Okay.
it's supposed to. And they had kits with like mesh and like thicker yarn, so not embroidery yarn, that you could make things, right? And there were like purses. The thing that really I was interested in was this wallet that they had.
Oh, yes. Okay. I've seen those.
Yeah, and
Fun.
so they also sell patterns, which is what I was super interested in. But they were all in things like that, right? Like a see-through, so you could see all the pretty yarn on the inside. Yeah, you could see the pattern. Yeah, they have. I think I'm going to try to use some of my beautiful yarn that I already have, and buy the pattern and make maybe I don't know. The wallet seemed a bit daunting. There's a lot of like you have to cut the mesh or what did she I can't remember what she called it. But so you get a big thing of it and then you cut it, which I was like, "Oh, I don't, I'm a little trepidatious about that." And then so yeah, I think I might try to do something a little simpler. But the hardware came in the kits as well. So like if you were interested in making that and you were like, oh, I love that color palette, but I want to be able to use my own yarns.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna experiment with potentially making something a little smaller than the wallet first. But like you create basically the seams in between the two mesh, and then there's the hardware to keep it sealed up, and really fun, really beautiful palettes. It was very compelling, the finished objects.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
fun.
should, yeah, if you give us a link, I'd love to check it out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the second thing that I did was in the same pouches, I had gotten done with one of those diamond painting things. And so I put that in there as well. But
Ah,
I just finished this diamond painting guy. And so my favorite thing is that I actually did something with it. So I framed it.
ah,
So
very
I don't
cute.
know if I'm going to put this in my office or here at home or whatever, but he's
So
very
beautiful.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and if I get tired of him, I think it'd make a good thing to donate to like Paws and Claws auction.
Yeah.
Um so that, somebody can take it on. But yeah, this has become kind of like a meditative puzzle doing kind of thing. Like you don't have to think too much. It does occupy your hands and your mind to a point. I put on, just like knitting, I put on a podcast or a book and I work on the diamond painting.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they look really nice underneath glass too. It feels like it
Yeah.
catches some of the reflectiveness of glass, but then there's also like the texture, right? Because it doesn't go
Yeah.
flat against the glass. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So that was the first one that I had framed. I did buy a Starry Night one and I started it, but then I realized that I have OD'd on like I have overdosed on the diamond painting. So I put that away recently and busted out a puzzle.
Mm.
But I will say that actually getting it framed is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I just purchased the frame and plopped it in there. I didn't like get it professionally framed, but actually getting it to the finished object is very satisfying.
Hmm.
So that's it for my favorite things, cross stitch and diamond painting. A little off topic.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, no, everything's on topic. It's crafty, man. Yeah, no, so I was part of a house. I believe this is the third year I've been a part of the house. A bunch of fabulous ladies, some from Baltimore, and then the rest of us are from, mostly from ZKN, and yeah, scattered throughout, like our paths crossed in 2020. So
Mhm.
very, very much love all of those ladies. And it was another fabulous year. We kind of have a nice like there's the early birds that want to get there early. I bet you can guess I am not part of the early bird group. I'm just kind of like, hey, sleep. And I'm a firm believer in yarn karma. So if the yarn is not there when I get there, that means that I wasn't really meant to get there. So yeah, fly into Syracuse, which used to be a pretty inexpensive flight when Southwest flew in there. They discontinued Syracuse this year,
Oh no.
but the tradition continues because I get to see Lynn, who's driving down from Canada. And then a couple of other ladies, Alicia and Whitney, joined this year in going in and out of Syracuse. And then we have a nice like 3 hour drive down to the Rhinebeck area.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that was great. We stopped at Cece's Wool.
Oh,
So our
fun.
wonderful Cece, outside of Albany, she has a fabulous shop, like lots of space in the back. There was some holes because they had already taken off for the actual Rhinebeck event when we got there, but still had some very lovely, like I think the widest array I've seen of like basically farm to needles sort of
Mm,
like she's
awesome.
very into the natural fibers. She's got her own lambs and sheep, right? And then she's taking on other people's wool as well. So it was a fabulous little shop and a nice stop along the way. Kudos to the folks that I was with that like thought of it. Like, is there anything along the way? Because it's mostly like 90 or 9 or whatever, right? Like
But
a very like
yeah.
you can just get on it and go, kind of drive in between Syracuse and the Rhinebeck area. I would have to say one of my favorite things this year for Rhinebeck was the logo, which was super cute.
Oh, wow. That's a great bag. You didn't buy me one, did you?
I didn't.
No.
And it has rainbow handles, which I guess they sold out of pretty quickly. So again,
Okay.
get yourself a Rhinebeck group that will be like, hey, Rhinebeck swag is available. It's adorable. And you have to grab these rainbow handles. Otherwise, you're going to have regrets. So yeah,
Okay.
this is the first year that I've gotten the big canvas tote. It was nice when we picked it up to like carry it around and put things in throughout the rest of
Mhm.
the day. The second day, so Saturday was crazy. It was like 70
Yep.
degrees, and many of I think a lot of local families, a lot of, it would be like if we were having a county fair here, right?
Yeah.
Like it's something to do, and there's food vendors, and there's sheep, and there's activities, and so it was very, very busy on Saturday. I did some like absolutely must shop or it won't be there type of shopping on Saturday. I'm sorry, I'm doing this very non-chronologically, but it was all in this very nice large Rhinebeck bag. Um, so I went to Matterroot as I often do.
Mhm.
And they had this fabulous canvas bottom and then the fabulous I'm missing what this plaid is. Yeah, the name is going to escape me. Um, but does it say on the thing? Cut hand cut printed and sewn in Maine. Yeah, it's a very like it's a tweed from somebody, and somebody's probably screaming at
Harrisville?
the yes, it's a Harrisville tweed. So I got this nice little either notions pouch or I could serve most of my money and cards and stuff out of it, and it matches and a very Megan color, right?
Yes.
There and I can't say that they were on Saturday midday that they were completely out of these, but they were dwindling. So
Mhm.
like I had to like forage in. I don't do elbows out. I'm like trying to slither between people and like grab because I was very interested in this color as it were. Trying to think if there's anything else in here that I wanted to chat about. The house group gave me this fun little, can you guess what this is?
I mean, a shawl closure.
Somebody suggested that, like you could also use it for a cardigan, but it's actually a scissors leash.
Oh, okay.
So you could like attach it to, your notions
Yeah.
pouch and not lose your scissors as you're, throwing them aside and weaving more ends in. So
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
scissors,
cool.
yeah, scissors leash there. And then yeah, Lynn's son, it was having some fun with a that's not it. Where did they go? Um, a wood engraver
Oh,
and
okay.
made our Rhinebeck house some fun stitch markers. And then all
Wow.
of our names are up top there. Yeah, kind of fun.
Oh, neat.
So highly customized stitch marker set. Very fun. And then yeah, we have Lee had this perfect waist tape measure. It includes the little like rounded thing, and you can measure
Oh,
yourself,
interesting.
and then it doesn't like retract, it stays there, right? And then you can take it off and look. So,
Mm.
and there's 2 inches already built into that little roundy round spot. That was pretty cool. But yeah, the line to get the bag was very long. They split the alphabet in half. It was A through L and M through Z. And so like I just like moseyed right up to the to mine and got mine. And then the rest of the group that had the wrong end of the alphabet's last names had a very
So
slow
we
line.
both would have been okay then, saying, okay.
Yeah, it was great. As somebody that generally gets left behind in that, it's yeah, it was a welcome change
Hmm.
from tradition. Also had a Rhinebeck House 2024 mug, and I got
Okay.
to pick this fabulous purple and blue. Also went to Kappalooza on on Friday in Saugerties proper. Stopped and saw the Perfect Blend as
Mhm.
well. So you'll see some purchases there, but got a Birdie Parker needle organizer, needle so you could put multiples, right? Like if you had like a
Mhm.
bunch of fives, you could gather them. I'm gonna use it on like my work in progress or as an organizer, but of course had to get the green. So yeah, kind of a needle minder slash needle organizer there.
Yep.
And it was nice to see Christy. We definitely missed her at ZK this year. And then stopped at Tuft Woolens and really, again, it was very dry. So I think I was highly susceptible to the lotions. But really enjoyed this, smelled them all, right? Was the annoying person that went through and
Wood
smelled
and
all
grape.
of the hoe wood and grapefruit is the one that I immediately started using. Um, Hoe wood is like a colloquialism for, we looked it up and now I'm going to forget, camphor,
Mm.
camphor trees. But it's delightful. It's kind of citrusy and woodsy. I got Ellie, she loves chai, so I got Ellie a
Oh,
chai
fun.
spice. Yeah, I don't know again if she'll really use it, but I enjoy how like it's so easy to like throw it in something and have lotion. And then this frosted garland jumped out to me. It's very piney and also like spicy, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, I'm like holding it up like you could smell it. Here, Amy.
Did they have other things or did you focus on the lotions there?
I focused on the lotions. What were you thinking? Like tins
Yeah,
or
I don't know. I
chapstick?
just,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. She was telling somebody while I was standing there smelling all of these that the tins are actually you get like 3 times as much, and also like the tin is more like eco-conscious, right?
Oh, okay.
But I do just love that you can just like slather it
Mhm.
on. Like I'm gonna take these with me when I travel as well for work, because then I don't have to bring like a mini bottle of lotion. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that was Kappalooza. And then I went to, so another one of my favorite things was Alicia had these and I had bought them but not brought them, which is like the least good thing that you can do. But she had so these like vacuum seal bags, but you don't have to bring a pump. It's
Mm.
like you roll it and the
Yep.
air comes out of a one-way valve at the end. Gets a little tough at the end, so you can see it's not as flat down here because you end up kind of pinching the one-way valve as you're trying to
Mhm.
squeeze all of the air out. But these are my yarn purchases, and this is how I was able to fit a lot in my luggage. So you guys will get to see the grand rehydrating of the yarn. But definitely nice if you're trying to minimize, even if you're not, trying to minimize a ton of space, just like keeping it all together and protected
Mhm.
is nice. So as I said, while we were in Socrates, so the love knot is gone, but it's going to be
Mhm.
soon replaced. I stopped at the Perfect Blend, and Emma's Yarn always does a pop-up in the back of their shop, or at least they have the last few years. This I've looked at these Hella skeins. I believe that's what the Hella Hanks, sorry.
Mhm.
That's more alliteration for quite many, many, many years. This one sang to me in the Take a Hike colorway. And again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it blows out the greens. I
Mhm.
mean, I was wearing this, so highly susceptible to the greens, but yeah, really a fun depth of color on this. And these
Mhm.
Hella Hanks are like a hank and a half.
Okay.
Um, and I probably didn't need three.
Right.
For what I would want to do, but like she didn't have like the normal size skein, right? So I've now dealing with like some of mine where I've bought like three skeins and you're like, oh, I'm gonna run
Yeah.
out. So now I've got six, or no,
All the cables.
five. I've got five, right? Because this
Yeah.
each one is a skein and a half, four and a half, I guess.
But yeah,
But
you can like you're gonna be like, oh,
yeah, no
cable.
worries. And like I won't use this green on something else, right? And this is MCN. So it's super squishy soft, take a hike colorway. Beautiful. It actually it worked out well again for me doing a good job with like keeping my amount that I was buying in check, because like I was comparing all the other greens to this green and I was like, oh, it's
Mhm.
not as nice as this green. So yeah, that's not to say I wasn't enabled by other green, or very tempted by other things, but I knew I had that one. And then we also went to Indie Untangled. They had three um barns, or buildings this year, so
Oh,
quite a
okay.
lot. This base really sang to me, and like the ephemeralness, the like transitory nature of this colorway. Like sometimes I look at it, see, oh my goodness, it's not going to do it justice. It's looking very gray and purple here. It's a brown in some lights
Mhm.
and it's a purpley pink in some
Okay.
lights. Yeah, super fun. But the base, so this is Plies and Hellhounds, and it's 50% BFL, 50% Corriedale. Fingering
Oh,
weight. Eldritch is the base.
that sounds really
It's
interesting.
Yeah, it's really springy. It's not like, it's next to skin soft, but like feels like workhorsey, right?
Yes.
With that BFL and the Corriedale in there. So yeah, a really fun mix, and the colorway is Over My Dead Body. So
Oh.
got got three of those. Again, there were like Why Not Fibers had some beautiful non-superwash wool that in this beautiful green. Lynn got that, and I was like, oh, I don't. She also got this color, so
Mhm.
I was like, can't be too derivative, but also I have that other beautiful green. So yeah, very fun base there. And then I always go to the last of my purchases here. If people are tired of hearing about it, always go to Peterbrook. They always make me feel really good about what I've chosen. So this is the barber polling one that I
Mhm.
got. Pinks and blues and grays and purples in there. It's a lot of
Ready?
fun. And then this, again, it's not doing it justice. Really nice Aubergine purple. Last year I got a green. I went up and they're like, this is a new green, great selection. This year I went up and they were like, it's just the depth of color on that. So they always make me feel really good about my purchases. And I don't know what I'm planning on making. They could definitely go together. Maybe there would be some places where it'd be a little low contrast. But I always find something. Last year it was the knit side to side railroad
Hmm.
that I ended up making, and I think I was enabled at Rybeck to make that one. And this year, I don't know that I've got a one specifically in mind, but definitely think that this would be a fun combo. And yeah, that's what that's what I got. Other favorite memory, our power went out, which you would think is not a favorite memory. I guess a tree fell down and like 24 homes were impacted in Red Hook. We happened to be one of them. But we turned on Spotify and had a little bit of blackout sing along
Oh,
and
okay.
used our flashlights on our phones to be able to do things. I think it went a little downhill when we figured out that it was well pump water. So we were like,
Yeah.
we can't flush the toilet anymore. When is the power coming back? But yeah, great memories. And yeah, just being silly and enjoying yourself while kind of skipping along, picking out yarn and looking at fabulous things. Other highlight would be is always the leaping llamas.
Hmm.
Um, Found out afterward from Amy of the Sweater Sisters that the young man that won, that I consider won 3 years ago, because he jumped over the pole and the animal did not. Like a human won leaping llamas was the joke. Last year, I guess he had broken his ankle and that's why he did
Oh
not
no.
compete. He was back this year and he again won because the animal he was leading did not jump over, but he did. So non-consecutive championships, but two out of the last three for sure. And he's definitely growing. Like, I was watching the video from 3 years ago that I had recorded, and he's growing up. So I don't know if we'll continue to see him, if he'll take over his parents' farm or not. But it's
Okay.
fun, always fun, always fun. The nun, the baby goat that our tiny goat that always jumps, and some of the kids' reactions that are helping keeping the pole right, like when it actually happens. So yeah, it's always a good time, and yeah, thanks upstate New York for another fabulous year.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing more
Yeah.
to say about that. Bye.
I have the awesome. I hit